Guys, I got some incredible news to share with you guys. Unbelievable updates in the boxing community. You know what? We had two unbelievable matches, two unbelievable fights taking place last night, Saturday night, guys. Usually the weekends are fight weekends. Saturday night was a fight night, but it was multiple. It was multiple fight nights, guys. It was absolutely incredible. You got more value than more bang for the buck, if you want to call it that. Not one, but two incredible fights, one of which happened at the Barclays Center in New York, United States of America, that featured none other than Dalton Smith taking on Matias. And look, I want to break it down for you guys because this was for the WBC lightweight championship of the world. And then the other fight that I want to break down for you guys was unbelievable. Slobber knocker. Guys, it was at the Rudolph Arena. It happened in Oberhausen, Germany. It featured none other than local fan favorite, heavyweight fighter, Agit Kabayel. And guys, I am telling you, the fans both at the Barclays Center in Oberhausen were electric. It was unbelievable. I mean, to watch these matches. But I'll tell you something. If I had to give it to the fans, I'm gonna give the edge to the folks in Oberhausen because Germany, it was a show. It was a show. And you know what? I mean, kudos to Frank Warren, Queensberry Promotions, and Gold Star, Top Rank. I mean, they put such an unbelievable show. But guys, this fight between Kabayel and Demina, oh my gosh, I'm telling you guys, this was for the interim WBC heavyweight title, and there is controversy. Lots of controversy, guys. You got gifted a stoppage. I mean, questions are coming down as to whether it was legit. What was up with the officiating? Boxing fans are abuzz right now. There's lots of discussions, things that are happening on social media. You know, when you have these kind of fights, especially international fights, I'm telling you, my phone's just been buzzing all the way throughout the night. It was really hard to sleep because every time my phone's buzzing, I wanna get up. I wanna read the latest, comment or article or debate or discussion that's going on. But guys, I'm telling you, man, the heavyweight division is in chaos right now. Boxing fans are losing their minds. And yeah, we got to talk about it because let's cover it. Let's get into it, guys. Welcome back to Duality 7X. I'm your host, Shiraz. As you're aware, we cover all the latest trending stories when it comes to the world of MMA, UFC, WWE, and the wild world of boxing. So here we go, guys. No fluff, no corporate bias, no filtered talk. It's completely unfiltered, completely raw. Guys, my opinions, your comments. Together we make an unbelievable team. Just real opinions. And, if you like and hear what you see, all we request is that you smash the like and subscribe, like and share, and hit the bell notifications. Ding, ding, ding. So you guys never miss a beat. So trust me, guys, you're going to definitely want to put some comments on this one. I want to hear your thoughts. But let's get right into it. And we're going to start off in the beautiful Brooklyn, New York, at the Barclays Center. Guys, Dalton Smith. All right? I mean, what an incredible fighter. I mean, this guy's something else. He's a lot of people are saying a lot of different things about Dalton, because of his age and people are saying, yeah, he's good, but he's not as he needs to fine tune his skills a little bit more, his footwork, his jabs. I call it all BS. First of all, when I was talking about his age, yes, people were actually questioning his age. The guy is 28 years old. 28. He's young. He's in the prime of his career. Leave this kid alone. And when you guys are talking about, when people are complaining about his footwork, his jabs, are you kidding me? These people seriously don't know boxing. The guy's 19-0. 14 by way of knockout. 14 by way of knockout, guys. And look, he did something absolutely incredible. Something that nobody expected. And you know what? Prior to all of this, guys, guess what? People were saying, that, you know what? Dalton's time is done. Unfortunately for him, it's not going to work, and this and that, and yeah, I was just shocked to hear this. Prior to the fight, 64% of the fans that voted in favor of Matias beating Dalton Smith. That's 64% to 36%. That's quite a bit, guys. But Dalton flipped the script, and he proved to the world that he's here. All right? This man walked in to the Barclays Center as the underdog. All right? First world level fight of his career. Just imagine the pressure. Imagine the noise. He walked in there and he stopped Subriel Matias. This guy is 23-3, 22 by way of knockouts, guys. Almost all of his wins resulted in a knockout, except for one. This guy, Matias, is known for breaking people in half. But Dalton flipped the script. All right? And he flipped the script in such grand fashion in the 5th round. It was absolutely wild. Now, say what you want, guys. Matias is an incredible, incredible fighter. Okay? He's not some pushover. All right? He's not a paper champion. This guy's the real deal. The thing is, this guy, unfortunately, usually gives up early rounds on purpose. And I don't know if it's kind of like a rope-a-dope kind of a situation where he's trying to make you believe that things are in your favor and he's not in control, and then, you know, he flips the script on you. Perhaps. Like, I don't know, but when I watch this guy's fights, it almost looks like he's just giving up those rounds on purpose. And then he turns into your worst nightmare. He starts laying it on you. Left, right. He's running circles around people. And that all happens usually early on. But it almost looked like that was happening against Dalton. You know, kind of like the same kind of look and feel that you normally get when Subriel comes on the, into the ring. He does what he does. And then, Smith was kind of caught off a little bit, and just trying to get a feel for what's going on, the lay of the land, so to speak, trying to get a better understanding, timing. This is where fighters in the early rounds are trying to get their footwork in motion. They're trying to figure out their timing as well too. They're trying to get a feel for their opponent, so that they can kind of put together their strategy. I mean, every fighter usually comes with a strategy, but they start to fine tune that usually after the first couple rounds once they get a better understanding in terms of what they're dealing with when it comes to their opponent. So Smith boxed kind of smart at first. He was weaving, he was bobbing. The jabs were really nice. They were very crisp. Right hands were landing. It was absolutely incredible, guys. And then where it starts to get a little bit crazy is that, he's like, I'm not gonna run. I'm not gonna start running from this guy. I'm gonna stand my ground, and I'm gonna go toe to toe with this guys. And he started trading punches with Matias. Guys, he started trading punches with Subriel, who has knocked out 22 other opponents. This guy is a machine. The last guy you want to start trading and getting into an exchange of punches is a guy who's got 22 wins by way of knockout out of his 23 fights. Now, mind you, he's got 3 losses So, the I mean, a guy like Dalton took a chance. He really believed in himself. He kind of stood his ground, and it could have been really bad. If his exchanges weren't up to par with Matias's, he would have probably been knocked out. Okay? And then he started to hit him mid-range, right where Matias basically lives. This is where Matias does most of his business. And look, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I mean, every single boxing brain watching was like, no, this ain't the plan. This is definitely not the plan. And because Smith didn't just survive. The guy won with his exchanges. Dalton Smith was actually beating Matias at Matias's game. Okay? He got a cut over the right, cut over his eye, sorry. That didn't faze him. It didn't even faze him at all. The pressure was coming back, and, Matias started to, unleash on him. Okay? He put some serious pressure on Dalton Smith, but Dalton didn't waver. He didn't even flinch. And then once it got to kind of around 5, they started to get into an all-out slugfest. Guys, this is what makes boxing so effing exciting. This is what I'm talking about. This is what people pay lots and lots of money to watch. Now, unfortunately, I didn't get the chance of attending either the fight at the Barclays Center or in Oberhausen, Germany. One day I'd love to go to one of these fights, but I watched it from the comforts of my own home. But most of the time, for both of these fights, I was on my feet. It was absolutely wild to see these two guys, two of the best. Like, the way they were just, man, the slugfest was absolutely crazy. Crazy. And then in the 5th round, 2 minutes and 24 seconds into the 5th round, Dalton lands that beautiful overhand right. Right hand, another right, overhand right. Matias goes down. Like that, the fight's over. This wasn't luck, guys. I'm sick and tired of hearing people saying, oh, Smith got lucky. The man from England just got one over from, on this unbelievable fighter and stuff. Look, they're both unbelievable fighters. They're both unbelievable fighters, all right? Dalton Smith came in the challenger. He walked out the WBC super lightweight champion of the world, taking the title away from none other than Subriel Matias. All right? Subriel's 33 years old. He's going to be turning 34 in the next few months. He still has a lot of years left in him. All right. So I'm not even worried. I'm not even worried at all about Subriel and what's going to happen. But Dalton, the Thunder Smith, got this one. And now they're already starting to call out people. And I'm not even going to get into that right now. But look, this wasn't just a title win. This is a statement. This is what you do when you're trying to create and make a statement to the rest of the boxing community, to the rest of the boxing world, to let people know that I'm here. Dalton Smith didn't outbox Matias. He beat him at his own game. This is what makes this fight so special. He basically mirrored what Matias normally does in his other fights. Rather than running like most other fighters would when Matias starts to unleash and put that relentless pressure on his opponents, he stood his ground. He took it, and then he started to exchange. He started to trade wars like jabs and punches and counters with his opponent. And that totally caught Matias off guard. That totally caught Matias off guard. And he was you could tell on his face he was starting to get a little frustrated. Dalton Smith is one tough cookie. And these are the fights that kind of define you. This is how stars are made, guys. 28 years old, undefeated. I mean, and he had Eddie Hearn in his corner. Guys, Eddie Hearn knows a thing or two about boxing. He knows a thing or two about winning fights. Eddie Hearn wasn't exaggerating when he said that this kid just entered the conversation at 140 pounds, and they're already saying that Dalton Smith is the new face of the 140-pound division. The UK, I don't know what the UK is doing out there. If they, maybe it's those fruit and nut Cadbury bars with the creamy milk, but they're becoming a factory, a championship making factory out there, because UK just got literally another legit champion who's going to be on the world stage. Absolutely incredible, guys. I was floored. But now the fun part begins for Dalton Smith, because if Dalton Smith really truly is the dark horse of the division, then the question comes down to was this a one-off performance? Because you have to admit, if you guys watch this fight, you'll know what I'm talking about. And if you know anything about these fighters, if you know anything about Matias' style, he basically fought Matias' style, beat Matias at his own game, fought Matias' fight, and he won with decisive fashion. I'm telling you, that beautiful overhand right, 2 minutes into the 5th round, it stunned the boxing world. He beat Matias at his own game. I don't think this is a one-off performance. I think that was beautiful boxing. It wasn't winging it, and it wasn't taking. Dalton Smith didn't look like he took chances. I mean, he knew what he was doing. So imagine Dalton Smith now against the other top dogs at super lightweight. If he can trade with Matias, who is probably one of the best out there. Again, 22 wins by way of knockout. He knows a thing or two about breaking people in half. Now tell me, who can't Dalton Smith fight? The scary part is he's only 28, guys. He's still developing his skills. He's still improving. He's still growing. That's dangerous. So I'm excited. I can't wait to see what comes out of this. It was a boxing clinic and a half. I really hope if you guys didn't get a chance to, please make sure you try to find a way to watch this. Now, I want to get into the next fight that happened. Guys, oh my gosh. Agit Kabayel. I mean, the controversy. First of all, while I switch gears here, I just want to talk about the excitement of boxing itself, and to be given the opportunity, if you have a chance, hopefully I'll get that chance one day, but to be able to go to a live event, to watch it, to be amongst the fans, the screaming, roaring, cheer, like the whole atmosphere. Guys, watching it from my TV, it was electric. I'm talking about the fight that went down at the Rudolf Weber Arena in Oberhausen, Germany. The fans were just at another level. It was incredible. Just to be like, even if I wasn't a boxing fan, and if I happened to be at that event, I would have so much to talk about. So much to talk about. Not just the boxing, but just the atmosphere, the ambience of it all. And I'd love to watch a fight in England as well, too. I mean, how incredible would that be? We were so fortunate when we got a chance to go to New York to watch a basketball game at Madison Square Garden, and to be a part, to be there at that arena where so much history unfolded. Absolutely incredible, guys. But Germany is and England, those are two places I definitely want to watch a fight. I'm hearing a lot of things about the Tokyo Dome as well too in Japan, Saudi Arabia. Like that's a whole different whole different conversation, guys. But yeah, there's so many unbelievable places to watch fights. But the fans yesterday were absolutely on fire. It was crazy. So, what was dubbed as the homecoming, Frank Warren of Queensberry Promotions, alongside Gold Star and Top Rank, they put on probably one of the most unbelievable fight cards in quite some time. But a fight card that not only entertained, but shook up the boxing world, guys, because the Rudolf Weber Arena in Oberhausen, Germany, is now going to be the focal point of discussion because what went down between Kabayel and Kimba is having a lot of boxing fans right now waking up, kind of scratching their heads. What just happened? Now, let me just lay it out for you guys, okay? Agit Kabayel, he's a local fan favorite. He's a product of Germany. This guy, at 33 years of age, he still has a lot of fight left in him. You could totally tell. And he's 27-0-0. 27 wins, undefeated. He's a monster. A monster in the making, guys. And he took on Poland's favorite heavyweight, Damian Kimba, 29 years old, who's 17-1-0, okay, in his professional record. And the stakes were high. This fight was for the interim WBC heavyweight title. All right? And the internet, guys, I'm watching this fight and my phone's just boop, 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 boop. It's just buzzing because of all the messages. I'm tapping into like the local, sports, sports houses and production companies and, online, just to hear what the locals are saying. And it was absolutely crazy, guys. The things that were going back and forth. Twitter was just like, it was busy. It was busy night. And so, yeah, half the world, for those who were able to watch it, were like, whoa, what is going on? Early stoppage. Early stoppage is what people were screaming about. And honestly, yeah, there's controversy surrounding it, but I kind of understand. Now, look, Kimba comes out there strong. He came out and he's just landing these beautiful right shots. And his stance, he was very measured in his approach and in his punching, the way he was landing those. He was ready for those counters. But not only was he landing those beautiful rights, he started to come up with some really nice uppercuts as well. That kind of marked up Kabayel early. Right? So I don't think Kabayel was expecting Damian to come out like the way he did. Like he's just coming out, just boom, boom, boom. He couldn't, he was having such a tough time just trying to, gain his composure back and to get his footing in place because, Damian was just coming out there, just landing bombs right from the get-go. And you could tell by Kabayel's face. The proof was on his face. All right? So for a minute there, I truly felt that we're going to see an upset in the making. And Kabayel was probably on his way to getting his first loss. In front of his hometown. Well, not hometown, but in front of his fellow countrymates. It was crazy, guys. But here's what kind of changed everything. And this is the beauty, again. This is the beauty of boxing, right? Because sometimes you just need a little bit of an opportunity to just gain your footing, plant yourself, get that composure back, and then start to implement your strategy. Sometimes that's all it takes. But body shots. I'm going to talk about body shots here. Because Kabayel, I mean, he started chopping Kimba down early. One of the biggest things, aside from a jab, that heavyweights fear the most are body shots. Because the saying goes, the bigger they are, the harder they fall. You start hitting the core, you could really test out a person's stamina, a person's cardio, how well they're in shape, just by working their core. Because the more you work a person's core, right, you start to break down that person. You start to break down your opponent. This is how you knock down some of the biggest redwood trees in the forest. You start by taking your axe and you just start chopping. You keep chopping. You keep chopping. Then eventually it's like timber, boom. And that's what happened. Kabayel started, going to strategy, thinking, how can I take this tall, this tough fighter down? And, he really started to work him. You have to understand, when I talk about tall fighter, I mean, Damien's 6'7". He's a monster, all right? You can't just keep working him on the inside. Those right hands, those uppercuts, they're going to hurt. They're going to sting. But if you really want to knock this guy down, you got to keep jabbing at him and you got to keep working the body. It's the only way to bring somebody of that size down. And guys, that pace that Kabayel started to exert on Damien, the pressure, it started to wear and tear and break Damien down, because by round three, Damien was hurt. And I'm talking about badly. He couldn't muster an offense at all. What he did in the early round, coming out there early, landing those right bombs and stuff, I don't know if all of that started to add a lot of lactic acid buildup in his arms to the point where he started to get tired and gassed out early. I don't know. But I'm telling you, I think bottom line, I think what really helped Kabayel win this fight was those body shots. He wore and broke down Damien to the point where he really couldn't. I mean, he was just a walking punching bag. But now here's the kick. Here's the thing that just shocks me. Round 3, Kimba's hurt badly, and now, was the stoppage early? Maybe. Well, was Damien protesting? Yeah, he was. But here's the thing that people are ignoring. Heavyweights don't really recover the same as other fighters, right? And you have to admit, Agit Kabayel landed the cleaner shots before the ref stepped in. He was beating it. Those punches were just landing, and Damien wasn't even mounting a counter offense. He was just taking those shots. And like I said, he was becoming a walking punching bag. Not even walking. He was just stationary, taking in these shots. The more and more he starts taking in those shots, that's when we start getting into danger zone, and it could really affect the health of a fighter. So the referee felt that he's seen enough. Was it really bad officiating for him stepping in and stopping the fight? I mean, we think he stopped the fight early, but do you think he did Damien a favor by ending it early, realizing that Damien's not coming back from this? I mean, even if he didn't, and if he let it go, and if there was no knockout, let's say, as per se, in that round, they would have gone to a 4th round, and guess what would have happened? More of the same. Kabayel would have just tore him apart. Maybe even finished him off at the TKO. I don't know. But I think the referee did the right thing. When it comes to fighter safety and health, guys, I mean, that's something that we can't even measure. Right? So, I mean, from me, there's no argument, right? But people are losing their minds, about the specific stoppage. And people are debating it. There's discussions going on, I don't think this was a robbery, guys. I don't think Damien could have come back from this. I really, truly don't think he could have. Agit Kabayel got the victory, all right? he won. He improves his record. He's undefeated. And now he's calling out Alexander Usyk. And the crowd, guys, the crowd was chanting it. The crowd was yelling Usyk's name. It was everywhere. Usyk, Usyk, Usyk. They're just chanting his name. Obviously, to appease not only to the audience, but knowing that this would be the best challenge for him. He called out the top dog in boxing, none other than Alexander Usyk. And whether you like him or not, Kabayel is forcing his way into the heavyweight conversation day by day. I didn't even talk about him in any of my videos up until this point. But now, the boxing division is upside down on its head. There's a lot of drama, controversy. There's a lot of shakeups happening. Anthony Joshua has announced his retirement from boxing, at least for now. Tyson Fury has come out of retirement and back into the folds of boxing. He's hungry. Deontay Wilder is supposed to be technically set to fight Alexander Usyk sometime in April, maybe May of this year. Guys, there's so much happening. You got Utuma, you got Wardley, you've got Daniel Dubois, who's hungry, who's motivated. He wants a title shot. I mean, now there's talks possibly of Dubois and Wardley going at it for the WBO title, and now all of a sudden I'm hearing that Tyson Fury could be in the mix to take on Wardley. Like, guys, there's so much happening in the heavyweight division. You still got Frankie Sanchez there. You got Chisora. You got, there's a lot of great fighters, and even Damian, he's gonna come back from this. He's going to have to re-strategize things a little bit. Maybe not come off as aggressive as he did. I mean, it looked good. But then, I don't know, something happened. I'm wondering if perhaps maybe he got gassed. I don't know. It's just really, really odd. So, I mean, look, whether you like him or not, Kabayel is there. Okay? And, I totally forgot about Hrgovic, I mean, Okoli. I mean, there's some real possibilities here. And if Francis Ngannou is still wanting to fight, and hopefully he's been training, that could be really interesting. And then you also have Tyson Fury's brother, Tommy Fury. He won last night. There's a little bit of controversy surrounding that, but there's another Fury in the heavyweight division, folks. Look, a lot of real possibilities, guys. A lot of heavyweight chaos. If Kabayel actually gets a title shot, and, with his body punching style, I was very impressed. I love it. I love it when heavyweights get technical, and he was getting technical yesterday. He realized what needed to be done. Okay, he realized that Damian wasn't going to go easy. Okay. And the biggest challenge, I think, the biggest challenge for Damian, honestly, is he needs, he had Kabayel where he wanted him, but he wasn't able to finish him. So he's going to have to try to figure that part out. And, he's still young. He's got a lot of fight ahead of him, and but Agit Kabayel, he looks dangerous, folks. He looks really dangerous, and I think there's a chance he might even get a title shot, right? So, anyways, controversy aside, I mean, he won that fight, and I think he won it in such a decisive fashion that people understood that he's here in the division to stay, and his name should be brought up and discussed with some of the other top heavyweights. For him to take that early exchange, to take that battering that Damian unleashed on him in the early round, and to come back and just beat the snot out of him to the point where the referee had to stop him. I could have been a KO if he did it. That just proves Agit's legitimacy in the heavyweight division, right? So because boxing tells us one thing, guys, People want excitement. People love controversy. People love chaos. And people love a really damn good fight. And this was impressive. Kabayel, talented, dangerous, surrounded by controversy that'll never go away. Unfortunately, it is what it is, right? Dalton Smith, I mean, elite mentality. Put on a boxing clinic. Beat Matias at his own game. World champion. Earned, not gifted. I mean, 2 fights, 2 statements, 2 very different reactions. But that's boxing, guys. And I got to ask you, this is the part where I have to really ask you for your thoughts, your comments. Does Dalton Smith now become the face at 140 pounds? Is he the new future superstar of this division? And was Agit Kabayel's, victory, the stoppage, was that fair? Was it way too early? Are you convinced that Agit should be up there in discussions with some of the other top heavyweights? And if so, who do you want to see him fight next? Drop your thoughts and comments and takes below. I read all of them, guys. If you want real more fight talk like this, then please smash a like and subscribe. Join us here on Duality 7X for more fight talk. The pleasure was all mine. I look forward to catching you guys on the next one.